Some people think that copying their entire project on an external drive regularly is the only way to back up code. Well, there's a much more efficient and faster way to do this. So, why even store code versions? So, for example, we typed a wrong command and it ruined all of our files, which can happen sometimes, and we actually want to go back. Git makes it easier to do this with little effort. So, hopefully you have the Git CLI already, because we installed it in a different video. But now, we can type git init, and what that will do is basically initialize the repository. A repository, also known as a repo, is a folder that stores code history over time. VS Code actually has source control. So, source control, what is it? Well, it's also known as version control and is the practice of tracking and managing changes to code. That's what we're going to be using it for in this course, pretty much everywhere. So, now we've initialized an empty repository. We're going to use the Git CLI to hammer the concepts in. So, git add dot. Okay, so before we commit and save a snapshot of our code, we need to actually git add dot. We need to add the files to make the snapshot. Otherwise, it's just gonna be empty. It's gonna be an empty snapshot. So git add dot. So git add this current directory, and it will add all the files available to add in this directory. And for some reason, we already have ran into a problem. So we don't actually want to add the node modules. So we're going to make a .gitignore file. So what is .gitignore? .gitignore is a file special to Git that allows us to actually define which files we should exclude from our code snapshots. Let's type, for example, node modules /. Now we can actually commit changes. So we type git commit m -m, and this is an argument, and then we have quotation marks and then the message. So fix silly bug, for example, we actually use present tense by convention when making git commits. So what is a commit in Git? Well, a commit is a snapshot of your project at a specific time. It's the action of saving one. What a git commit is it basically outlines the differences in code when we actually make the commit. So in this case, I actually made a mistake in the economy section. This is for later in the course. I'm recording this after the economy section. So I actually changed one symbol here, and it says this was added, this is the change, and this is what was actually removed. So also, the message I used was economy number 5 profile cards, and that was the name of the lecture. So I'm going to call this the name of our lecture, which is Code Version Control Git Basics. And it will say create mode, a bunch of numbers, then every package that was added. So when we actually typed git init, what actually happened is if we type ls-a, which is available using git bash, if we type ls-a, we can see that all the hidden folders, we can't see the .git folder because it is hidden. So that's the basics of Git CLI. I use it pretty much everywhere in all projects. So it's also built into VS Code, which makes it easier to do from here. So the thing with VS Code is it automatically git adds the files in our project, as you may have saw at the start of the lecture, when all these files were here. And then we type a message in and press this button here to commit. There we go. Git tracks file changes in a code project. A group of changes is saved as a commit. A repo tracks all file changes in a project.